Hi, I'm Lisa Cummings. I might be a paraplegic, confined to a wheelchair, but using the slenderized system, I lost 130 pounds and 90 inches of body mass in just over a year. When I was younger, I attended a Christian summer camp in the mountains of Colorado. When I was 14, I started their rafting program, and that particular summer, Russ started that program as well. From the very first moment I saw him, I fell in love with him. We had an amazing friendship. We had an amazing relationship. And for 10 years, off and on, we dated and got very serious. And then in February of '89, we got married. Before our children were born, Russ and I were river guides for about 10 years in Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and we loved the outdoors. We camped all the time with our family. We raised our kids on the river, on the ski slopes. We did all kinds of stuff to stay active and be out doing stuff. We love to be active. The summer of 2004, we had been out riding in the dunes right outside of Yuma, Arizona, and I had an ATV accident. A single breath, my entire life changed. I knew instantly I was paralyzed. I was in more pain than I could even begin to tell you. I ended up laying in the sand for the next 2 hours, waiting for Flight for Life to get to me, which we really didn't think could happen because I was actually laying there dying. The Marines ended up coming in and saving me from the sand dunes. They got us to the hospital. Now that I've been in the hospital, the doctors have come to us and I'm stable, but they've given us the news that my spinal cord injury has left me to be a paraplegic and that I am going to be paralyzed from the chest down the rest of my life. Craig is a hospital that is made for spinal cord injuries and for traumatic brain injury. It's their specialty. It's one of the top spinal cord hospitals in the country. We were at Craig for 3.5 months. During the time there, you take classes day in and day out to learn how to be a mom again in a wheelchair, to learn how to be a wife, to learn how to make your wheelchair. While we were at the hospital, they helped us get ready to come home and tell us the stuff that we're going to need to be going on at our house to be ready. We had friends come into our home and put in ramps for us and make it so I could get through the doorways because our doors at our house weren't big enough for my wheelchair. I was at physical therapy 5 days a week, 5 hours a day, trying to get my strength back, trying to be able to recover and to be able to do some stuff by myself because I had lost so much independence. My weight was getting too much that my hands were falling asleep. My carpal tunnel had gotten to the point from wielding my wheelchair that my arms were asleep almost 24/7. My shoulders were breaking down. I was having all different kinds of issues because the longer I was in a chair, the more weight I would gain. I didn't like myself. I hated looking in the mirror. And it wasn't just the part of looking in the mirror and not seeing able-bodied me standing there and me looking in a wheelchair. I didn't like looking at that. But when I looked in the mirror, the person I saw wasn't who I wanted to be. I was fat. I was overweight. It was painful to look at myself. You know, as I'm gaining weight and getting larger and larger, it was affecting my health enormously. I could hardly breathe. The weight would get in my way to lean forward. It caused all kinds of issues. I was at a party and my cousin Tony and I sat down and had a conversation about losing weight. And he had just lost over 30 pounds of weight and he'd been keeping it off for 4 months. And he said, don't do what I was getting ready to start doing. He said, give this 30 days. Give this a try. I started the slenderized system. Got all the foods and I decided to start with it. And so for the first For the next 30 days, I was eating the things that they recommended. I was drinking the water. I was heading towards seeing how this was going to work. So I got on the scale, and my mom said, "You lost 20 pounds." I said, "I did not." I didn't believe her, that I had to get back on the scale again. And she's like, "Lisa, you lost 20 pounds. And I was so excited, but yet I almost couldn't believe it, because every other diet, it took me months to lose 20 pounds. The next month I went down to the hospital again, and another 16 pounds had come off. So now I've down 36 pounds. The next 2.5 months, I was down 45 pounds. Before I started Slenderize, I had lost so much independence. Like I had said, I couldn't sit up in bed anymore. I was struggling. I couldn't get dressed on my own. And now I've lost 45 pounds, and I was back to the point where I could sit up in bed by myself. I was able to start being able to get those independence back and dressing, and my health was changing. My blood pressure had dropped. I could breathe again. Watching my health change, I wanted more. I wanted to like myself again. I wanted to look in the mirror and love that person again and find that person that I hadn't seen in a long time. I wanted to eat the foods that I'm now eating and falling in love with, because I realized how good they are. And not just good for me, but I enjoyed eating them. And I wasn't missing anything in my diet. I was so, happiness was coming back in my life. And then as I lost more and more weight, every day it got better. At 7.5 months, I'd hit a goal that I had been trying to achieve, which my goal was 100 pounds. And at 7.5 months, I'd lost 101 pounds. It was so exciting to be able to lose 101 pounds and 59.5 inches that I wanted to shout it from the rooftops. And I was blessed that I could go to an RX event where I could share my story with people, and that it could give hope to other people that I ever could even visualize losing that kind of weight. And now not only have I, but it's changed my life. Not only did the Slenderize system help me lose weight, but it helped me find myself again. It helped me like myself again. It gave me hope on a daily basis that I could be healthy and I could be skinny. And I lost 130 pounds and 90 inches of body mass in just over a year using the Slenderize system. I'm Lisa Cummings. My life is good. I'm happy. I'm healthy. What more can you ask for?